So Logan's coming back in the comics, the classic Wolverine, as opposed to the all-new, all-different Wolverine, who really isn't all that new and really isn't all that different. Where was I? Oh yeah, so Logan's coming back, and the reason I'm making this video is that there's been a lot of stuff that's come across my social media about it, and there's been a lot of comments, a lot of reactions that, yes, we've beat the feminists, we've beat the social justice warriors. And I found that really, really weird, because supposedly it's the social justice warriors who don't follow or care about the media that they're criticizing, and are only there for political reasons. And I would assume, therefore, that the people who are saying, we beat the social justice warriors, you know, the true comic fans, would have actually read some comics in the past. So here's a fairly brief explanation about why this is a thing to me. There's a saying in comic books that nobody stays dead except for Bucky, except Bucky came back. And then they expanded it to Bucky, Jason Todd, and Uncle Ben. And of the three of them, only one of them hasn't really returned. And apparently Uncle Ben is Spider-Man in some alternate universe stuff. So he's not even completely out of the comics. He's just not coming back in the main universe. Basically, if you've ever read comic books for more than, I don't know, 2 issues, you've probably noticed that there's this tendency for characters who are killed off to come back. And this is why I've never really gotten the outrage when they do something like replace Thor with a female counterpart, because Thor's been replaced before by Eric Masterson, and he came back and Eric Masterson got his mace Thunderstrike and became Thunderstrike because Thor calls himself Mjolnir. Iron Man's been replaced before, Batman's been replaced before, Captain America's been replaced before, Superman's been replaced before, Captain Marvel's been replaced before. I mean, they've even killed off Night Thrasher and replaced him with his brother, and then, according to Wikipedia, they actually brought him back. And if you don't know who Night Thrasher is, that's kind of the point. He's one of the F-listers from the New Warriors who were killed off in the explosion in Stamford that sparked Civil War as the event comic. In other words, they brought back Night Thrasher, but somebody out there actually thought that Wolverine, that Logan, the original Wolverine, one of the most recognizable, most marketable, and most profitable characters in all of, American comic books, would be kept dead forever because lack of pattern recognition? I don't really know. Somehow, though, replacing these characters with a diverse crew, because diversity's never been done before. It's not like Iron Man was ever black in the past. Oh, right. But Green Lantern was always white, right? Oops. Well, those are bad examples, because at least Superman, they've never had a black guy replace Steel, fuck. So somehow this becomes an SJW Mu, rather than something that is pretty much inevitable in comics, because they're always going to do something to shake up the industry, and it will almost always be temporary. But when the inevitable happens again, when they revert to the status quo that they were always going to do in the first place at some point in the future, somehow this is framed as a victory over the so-called social justice warriors, rather than what it really should be labeled, the fucking obvious. And it really makes me wonder, because these are supposed to be the true comic fans, the ones who know the intricacies of the characters, the ones who have been reading for years, while people like me are ostensibly unaware of how comics work, or how video games work, or how movies work, and are therefore intruders into the medium. I mean, let's be realistic here. Odinson is going to get his hammer back. Again. And all the other characters who haven't returned yet will probably return. Maybe not Captain Marvel. That's always kind of a dubious one. But pretty much a guarantee that, anybody who's been part of this shift will, or already has, got back their powers or title or life. And really, I'm just throwing out that last bit so I don't have to make this same video again explaining why Thor is back and whoever else. I can't even keep track anymore. Thanks for listening. Amaranth out.